few moments later.
As long as we have our imagination.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. That's really something. Can I have your TV?
With imagination, I can be anything I want. A pirate. Arr. A football player. Hup.
A starfish!
Patrick, you're already a starfish.
See, Squidward, it works! You try!
Okay, let's...
Alright, hello guys, I'm the Nightwing, Way of Life Esports, coming at you guys with another League of Legends video. So, we just had our LCS 2020 Spring Split, Week 2, and I'll be giving my thoughts and opinions on Week 2. And we have Week 3 coming up on us very, very shortly. So, I was like, I gotta get this week out of the way. As you guys know, I'm always super consistent and always super attractive because I am the best looking League tuber on the platform outside of, well, LS, because, you know, LS is super, super hot. But nevertheless, let's talk about these matches. So we had a lot of games pretty much go as you would probably think, you know, Cloud9 destroying their opponents pretty handily, TSM obviously bouncing back, Liquid obviously going even in their games, and then even losing to Dignitas, which was actually pretty interesting, and CLG being the biggest surprise of the week, starting off the split 0-4. CLG have just been in shambles. Now, looking at how the week started, you had 100 Thieves versus CLG, and 100 Thieves didn't look, you know, that great in their week in general. And you're thinking with a schedule of CLG and Cloud9, they're not going to look that strong, but they do look rather okay in their CLG game, and they do pull out a win. Dignitas versus Team Liquid, this was actually a battle to see. Basically, if Dignitas was actually going to be a team that people can take seriously, and this game showed that. Johnson played great. You also had, you know, some Team Liquid members obviously playing good as well. I think the game really did come down to draft because of how the teams actually, you know, played out their game, and you're looking at how Froggen and Huni and Afromu have, you know, thoroughly been helping out the other guys on the team really find their potential. Then you have Cloud9 versus Immortals. Talk about a one-sided stomp. The fact that Zabutin drafted Soaz Karma basically meant GG FF at 20, like, come on. Or at least they should have probably just FF at 15, because this game was a shellacking. Cloud9 just utterly dominate Immortals. It's not even fair how close this game was. Niski was on the Pantheon. He did really well. Zen was on the Cena. He actually has a really great KDA right now. All the Cloud9 members, besides I think Blabber, have like the highest KDAs in their position. The team has been looking great. And then you get to the final game, which was Evil Geniuses versus Golden Guardians. And right now, I initially thought that the way Evil Geniuses were playing, I actually was banking on them winning this game, because we even predicted them to win this game, because Golden Guardians have been looking better and better, but it really does look like they have kind of found their footing a lot more easier than Evil Geniuses, and Evil Geniuses still is not really that good to me. You know, I never really understood why was there such an insane amount of hype for this roster when they have literally one to two good players and three other kind of lackluster, can be good on certain day players. But Golden Guardians end up coming with the win because of an Evil Genius throw. Day 2, we had Team Liquid taking on FlyQuest in a rather interesting game. FlyQuest lost this game because of a lot of mistakes that they did personally, but Liquid bounced back. And for the next week for Team Liquid, Broxa just got approved for his visa, so Broxa will be playing with Liquid for the foreseeable future. Obviously, he missed out on the first 2 weeks of the LCS, and, you know, now since Team Liquid is going to have their full roster, it's finally time to see, you know, how strong they're actually going to be with Broxa. And then you have TSM versus Evil Geniuses. TSM obviously looking a lot better, but then you have the players saying that they were very, very frustrated with how they played and performed in the game, because they actually wanted to show more of what they were doing in scrims, but it really didn't mean much in general. Because you have to factor in that just because you want to show a lot on the stage about what you're practicing in scrims doesn't necessarily mean it's going to translate. So now it obviously means that where does TSM go from here, from how much you actually have to think about what they can improve on. And Evil Geniuses, they have a 0-2 week. It's not really looking good for them at the moment, but there is an upside for them, I think, later on during the split. But TSM obviously come out really strong in this game. It was back and forth for a little bit there, but then you see TSM take the win. Then you have Cloud9 versus 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves were fighting Cloud9 back in the early parts of the game, but later on, through superior team fighting and superior macro play, Cloud9 managed to win. Obviously, Cody Sun and Stunt were, going head-to-head with Sven and Vulcan for a little bit there, and then you obviously have the match going on for a little bit there with a lot of different back and forth team fighting, and then Cloud9 take the win, and they are undefeated, the only undefeated team left out of all the teams in the NALCS. They are the team to beat, and Cloud9, for as of right now, are the best team in North America. Then you have Immortals versus Golden Guardians. Immortals looking to bounce back, from their getting absolutely dismantled by Cloud9 game. They played a lot better in this game. It more or less so came down to which team made the better decision at the right moment, and Immortals did those better decisions, and they obviously won their game. And then today, you obviously have FlyQuest versus Dig as, the Monday Night League games. FlyQuest looked pretty good in their game, but up until the point where Dig started getting a decently massive advantage. And it was more or less so the interesting way that FlyQuest actually won is actually a hope that you should have going with this team, because it looks like they can actually play and come back from losing, which is a good thing in general. But Dignitas did throw a lot of parts about the game, so this was basically a battle for second to third place at the moment. So this actually delivered, and I actually enjoyed this game. Most games from this week were, pretty much blowouts, but I'm thinking to myself, it couldn't get any worse. Then I watched TSM versus CLG, and, CLG, they obviously go 0-4 because they lose to TSM and they lose to 100 Thieves, but they did look better in this game, but Crown was irrelevant in this game. Wiggly was playing pretty well in this game, but they lost every single lane. TSM basically just outlaned them, out-macroed them, and out-team fought them. That's just it. But yeah, CLG starting off 0-4 is not what a lot of people predicted, and Evil Geniuses not looking as strong as what a lot of people are predicting. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the LCS Week 2 thoughts and opinions. I think that, the teams overall need to draft a little bit more accordingly to how their players can play, and not draft like you're a Korean or an EU team, because it's really not going to actually be that beneficial for you, because your players aren't going to be able to actually thoroughly pull out what you need them to pull out at the current moment in time, because they're just not either strong at playing those champions, or they're just not strong at, being good at what those champions need to do in those specific situations, because they're just not able to handle what the champions are able to do in those specific team comps. So going into week 3, there's going to be a lot of marquee matchups coming up, and we're going to predict for those tonight on the LOL podcast. So I want to get that obviously to you guys on Friday, so you guys can have the matches already predicted, and then I'll have my LEC predictions coming up later on today. So yeah, see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe, most of all enjoy. I'm the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out.
Hi there guys, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more stuff.
Yeah, thank you.